Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am Canon EOS photographer Randall and Rueff. Today is Saturday, December 21st, 2013 AD. Just a few more days till Christmas, or even one day less to Christmas Eve. Today, I want to talk to you about my experience going to Roberts in Indianapolis. It's a store up there where they sell jewelry. What else did I see up there? Jewelry, watches, that kind of stuff. But their main thing up there is cameras, lenses. I don't really think they had any computers up there to sell. They used to have a thing, but I don't think they do computers that much anymore. Anyway, but they do have every kind of camera equipment, whether it's film, digital, backpacks, film, memory cards, anything that has to do with cameras, whether it's digital or film, they've got up there. I am very impressed with not only their store, the way it's organized, but their what they have and how it's organized and the way they operate their store. It's very professional, very nice, very pleasant experience. Let me start off with that. It was a very pleasant experience. They were very helpful. They greeted you at the door. So I mean, it couldn't be more professional. Now, having said that, let me tell you about my experience today. First of all, going up there from Taylorsville, Indiana to Indianapolis, it rained the whole way, in varying degrees of rain or strengths of rain, but basically it rained the whole way up there. Rained pretty much the whole time I was up there, and rained most of the way, well, all the way home. There are a few times where it's kind of intermittently stopped. It basically rained there, rained up there, and then back. So, plenty of rain today, plenty of rain the last couple of days, in fact. I hope it don't flood. Anyway, having said that, went into the store, found a parking spot beside the store. In fact, I had to go around twice because the first time they had some signs up. I figured, well, I'm going to park there anyway because it's the only place to park. So I ended up on the second turnaround, parked, went in, asked the guy if it was okay to park there. He said, yeah, that's fine, park there, that's cool. I looked around a little bit. For a few minutes, the guy asked me if I needed any help when I first came in. I said, yeah. I said, first of all, I need to use the bathroom. So I said, where's your bathroom? Then I came back and he was like, well, can I help you? I said, yeah, I need to, I got some equipment. I want to see if you guys will buy it or trade it, blah, blah, blah. He says, okay, here's where you go. So I went back outside, got my stuff, came back in, went to the area where they look at your equipment to see if they can buy it or what they can do with it, etc., etc. And they did that. Two guys looked at it. One guy looked at my digital camera. Well, the one guy looked at both of them, but they had one guy that looked at, and he signaled another guy to look at my video camera. So the first guy looked at my digital camera, instructed the second guy to look at my video camera, and then he went off to make a phone call or something about how much I could offer, or look on the computer or something. He was looking on the computer and talking on the phone, so I don't know what I was doing. Anyway, long story short, they were going to offer me $40 for my Digital Rebel XT with a battery charger and the battery grip. They were going to offer me $40 with the camera body, the grip, and a battery charger, $40, which, yeah, may or may not be real good deal, but when it's your only camera, it's a bad deal. From my perspective, it's a bad deal because even I realize it's not worth, and they can't resell it for what it's anywhere near what I paid for it. The point I want to make is, to me, it's valuable because it's my only camera. It's my only professional camera, and most people even consider it professional, like call it prosumer. So, but to me, it's my camera. It's the only real. I mean, I've got several I got a video camera, but basically, it's my main camera. So, no matter how much unless he was going to offer me enough to replace it with something better, it was a no deal. Okay, so he offered me $40 for a battery charger, the camera, and the battery grip. And I was like, Well, okay, so then next came up my XL1S. I was like, okay, this is going to at least get $400 or $500. $650 if I'm lucky. So he looked at the one guy inspected and says, yeah, it's okay, it's working good, which I knew it was. I told him it would be, and they were like, yeah, it's working good. He put in a tape, and he tried the batteries, and he tested the ejected, and he recorded some video, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so he told the guys, yeah, it's working, it's fine. So he goes and then gets on his phone and the computer again and looks some stuff up, comes back and says he'll offer me 100. What do you say? 120? No, 140. 140 or 120? I'm trying to remember. Okay, yeah, it was 140 because I remember the 280 was the total. I mean, 180. Excuse me, 180 was the total. 180 was the total, so it would have been 140. It was 140 they offered for me, which, let me say this, the XL1S cost me $4,000 plus I got $500 rebate when I bought it. And now they're only wanting to offer me $140 for something that costs $3,500. Wow. Drastically reduced. Now I understand they're not having people want this camera because, first of all, it's standard definition. And nobody wants standard definition anymore. So I understand it's not in demand. It's definitely not in demand. So basically what they're doing, I would imagine they're selling these cameras out as like for schools or people who can't afford, nowadays you can buy some, you can, if you just want a cheap camera that you don't have to spend a lot of money for, this would be the kind of camera to get a good camera, but yet still don't have to pay a lot. This is the way to go. So $140, I said, no. I said, well, first of all, I said, what do you got that I can get a replacement for basically $200 or $180. So the only thing he had that even remotely had video, aside from some pocket cameras, which I didn't need. Oh, the thing of pocket cameras, they wouldn't even look at my pocket camera because he says they're not even interested. Secondly, they looked at the binoculars, or they didn't even look at the binoculars either because they weren't interested in binoculars. So anyway, basically I've got 4 pieces of equipment there. DSLR I can get 40 out of, an XL1S which I can get 140 out of, so 280. I keep wanting to say 280. 180 is the most I can get out of these cameras. So less than $200. I said, what do you got that's real? Is there anything anywhere close to? The only thing they had aside from a pocket camera was a Nikon, which I didn't want a Nikon. Was a little, I mean, it was a small one. It was an older one. It only did 20 frames per second video, which, that's pathetic. So basically, there was nothing realistic that I was going to get for the amount of money I had. So that's that. So I was real disappointed about that. Second thing I was disappointed about, they didn't have a catalog. Normally, a lot of places like this have a catalog. Now, I understand with websites now, but it's a lot easier just to make a website and not have a catalog. I understand that. And that's what as you can see here, it says it's HTTP. So basically, if you type in www.robertscamera.com or go to Google, type in Roberts Camera, they'll pop up what you need to find out to get to the website. But robertscamera.com. One of the things, so I was disappointed they didn't have a catalog. One of the positive things, however, is they had a big Canon display with a whole bunch of stuff. And the 2 things, actually 3 things I saw that I really wanted to see, they're there, I wanted to see them, was a 1DX, a 5D Mark III, and the 28-300 lens. And I was just like, ugh. Now there was a guy, but yeah, they had 3 of the white lenses out in the very front of the display. They had the 1DX, the 5D Mark III. I mean, they had a whole bunch of the other smaller cameras, but the 2 big ones were the 1DX and the 5D Mark III. And they had the 6D, the 7D, and but anyway, they had a whole bunch of them. My point is, but I looked at it like, and it got to the point where the guy's like, well, would you like to look at him closer? And one of the times I was looking at him, I looked at him several times. And my thought process was, you know what? If that guy offers to let me see it and actually touch the 1DX, I might not be able to release it physically from my hands. So I thought, well, if he asked me again, I probably should just say no thanks. He didn't ask me again, but I know he was there. He was standing. He was helping another guy. I know if I had said, can I see that 1DX or the 5D Mark III? I know he would have got his key, unlocked it for me, and let me touch it and look at it. But of course, I don't have any doubt about that. But the point from what I was thinking of is like, if I get to touch that 1DX, actually touch one, I might freak out. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't ask him to do that. Although I kind of wanted to. I was, it was just cool to see. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, you see the pictures on the internet and videos, and I've done numerous videos about the 1DX and the 1DC, but until you actually see one, oh my God. I mean, see it in person. There's something about seeing it in person, and maybe it's because when you see the videos online, a lot of times it's not lit real well. There isn't good lighting. Here, there was plenty of light from all directions. You could see it. It was one of those cameras where it has glass on the front, glass on top, so you can see from top and from the front. And it was amazing. It was just awesome. I mean, it was just like, oh. I mean, they had all the supplies there. I mean, they had the Wi-Fi adapter. They had I saw the GPS adapter. They had all kinds of flashes, both Canon and non-Canon, that were compatible. I was just like, ugh. I was just like crazy. I was like, why can't this store be in Columbus? So I just went a little nuts in my mind. And I was disappointed they didn't have a catalog. Now, this card they gave me, that was kind of another thing I want to talk about. Before I left, I asked one guy, I said, well, do you guys have a catalog, or at least a store catalog, or maybe just a Canon catalog, or I can look at all our stuff? And he's like, no. So he's like, well, he'll ask this lady over here. So I went and asked this lady. He says, do you have a catalog, a store catalog, or do you have a Canon catalog? She's like, no. I said, well, okay, well, do you have a business card? And she's like, yeah. So she went she didn't have one like that on the desk, like most people would have. But she's like, okay, let me go get you one. She went to the cabinet, pulled one out, and this is the card that she gave me. Now I've scanned this at 1200 DPI on my Canon MX700 to bring you this image, and hopefully this will help them out, whether it helps me out or not. Either way, I just want to make a video telling you about my day and telling you about my experience at Robertson, Indianapolis. Other than the fact they don't have a lot of parking, and their parking area is very small. I mean, I was in Mom's car, and it's like, I probably had less than a foot on both sides to maneuver in the parking lot. It was very small because there were already cars in there. It's like, they got a small parking lot. So aside from that, it was a very wonderful experience. I would highly recommend it. I would definitely do it again. My only regret is I don't have more money to go shopping when I go. And but it was worth the trip, even though I didn't get what I wanted or something new. It was worth the trip because I got to see some stuff that I'd only seen on the internet or in videos or pictures on the internet. So just being able to see that 1DX in person, even if I didn't actually touch it, or the 5D Mark III, even if I didn't get to touch it. They didn't have the 1DC. I asked the guy about the 1DC, and he's like, no, we don't carry those yet. I said, well, that's too bad. He looked it up. He says, yeah, they begin for $12,000 from B&H, which I already knew. But anyway, just like, it was a good day. It's just looking at that camera in person, it was just like, oh, I want it. Especially with the lens right there, real close, the 20-300 Canon lens. Excuse me, so close to it too. So like, I want that lens. I want that camera. And off to the side, they had the GPS things. So it's just, of course, they had all kinds of filters and backpacks and camera bags, all kinds of stuff like that. But it was just like, oh, it's like if I die now, other than heaven itself, can I die here? You know what I'm saying? Because they did, now I'm disappointed they don't have any computers anymore. They used to have a little Macintosh area, but they don't have that anymore. At least I didn't see it. So, very highly recommend the store. I enjoyed my time. And maybe if you are in the Indianapolis area and looking to buy some photography equipment or supplies, You can stop in or visit their website or give them a call or fax them or phone them or, whatever however you want to communicate with them. Maybe that'll be your thing to do. So, like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a very professionally rewarding experience, even though it's just going to a store. I enjoyed it, recommend it, and I'm going to go check out their website here in a minute to see how good of a website that is. But so I'll just leave you with that. So until next time, I'm Canon EOS photographer Randall saying thanks for watching. Have a good day. May God bless you, and keep taking those pictures.